Potent Ponder, and I'm back with another video. First and foremost, please come in, thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, hit all notifications so you have my videos in your possession each and every time I do uploads. I hope y'all all doing well. It's Tuesday evening. Yo, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the situation with Trump and the migrants. The migrants is getting shook up. They ready to go back home. And I'm also going to talk about Kendrick Lamar and SZA going on this 21 city tour. Yo, can we say that Kendrick Lamar booming in Drake face? Now listen, I know Drake is still successful and people are going to come in the comments talking about Drake was the most streamed artist on Spotify. I know that. I understand it. I get it. But Kendrick still boomed. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to think about this. Kendrick Lamar is not a Megan Thee Stallion in the situation versus Nicki. Kendrick Lamar is a bigger artist than that. So Drake didn't put Kendrick Lamar on, but he definitely shined the light on him some more. You know what I'm saying? And all this lawsuit stuff going on, I feel like it's the perfect opportunity. So today, Kendrick went on Twitter and he announced it, right? So the 21 city tour, Kendrick Lamar and SZA, all right? So Kendrick Lamar and SZA have announced the Grand National Tour. The North American Stadium Tour begins in April, stretches into June. Take a look at the longtime collaborators tour dates below. So they coming to Houston. I might have to hop out at the NRG. 21 dates. So they starting off in Minneapolis and they coming to Houston, Arlington, going to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I want to just say this though, right? This is on the brinks of all of that, all the happenings, all of the lawsuit talk from Drake or whatever. You know what I mean? SZA's supposed to be coming out with new music. This is gonna be a bomb. It's gonna be a bomb, and I'm so happy that Kendrick is doing this thing. He's doing a stadium tour with the SZA. Now you know Doechii is probably gonna pop out on there too. You know she gonna pop out. They all fam in some sort of way. So I can see Doechii popping out on that tour too. That'd be a good look for her, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I seen a lot of people talking about it should have been a Young Money, Cash Money stadium tour. You know they could do that and go crazy. Nicki already sold out tour around the United States. You know, she did it twice. She did 2 legs of the tour. Successful tour, you know what I'm saying? Drake, he's over in Australia, so you know, I think he purposely booked that tour over there so he can make it seem like he was so busy over there, and you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm over on tour in Australia. Shut that up. You know what I'm saying? You just ain't want to see Kendrick shine at the Super Bowl. You know that move was Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing with it. So I'm excited. I'm happy for SZA, for Kendrick Lamar and SZA. I honestly think that when they get done with the stadium tour, Kendrick need to spin it and he need to do an arena tour and hit all the little cities that he ain't. You know what I'm saying? Capitalize on this moment, Kendrick. I know the stadiums is dope. Fill them up. You and SZA do your thing. I'm definitely going to that tour. Definitely. I'm definitely going to be at the NRG like that. Like that, you know what I'm saying? I definitely want to see that. So shout out to them, yo. So get in the comments. Let me know what you think about that tour. Are you going to be attending? Let me know what rules you going to be bending. Listen, let's move on. I want to talk about this situation. I actually read this article earlier when I was at work. You know, this is what I be doing at work. You know, I like my rap topics, my celebrity topics, but I also just be making sure that I do my due diligence and I read different things and I understand what's going on so then I can present it in my commentary. So I was reading something earlier in regards to the migrants in Mexico, and baby, they shaking up. They shaking because Trump is coming and they know it, right? Now I want to deliver this and let you know this. Like I'm not just some gun ho like, oh, you just like this Trump supporter or whatever. I want to remind you of this. I voted Democratic, right? But I'm in Texas. Texas is going to turn red anyway. I voted Democratic. I felt forced to. I wasn't happy about my vote, but I did vote Democratic. But I'm in Texas. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that my vote didn't count, but I'm just letting you know. I felt like I'm a hybrid. I feel like there's strong things that I see from Trump and there was things that I seen from Kamala too, but I felt like I'm a hybrid. I think they need to make a hybrid class. I know there's independence and all that, but I feel like a hybrid because a lot of the stuff that Trump was kicking, I was definitely feeling it. Probably more over Kamala, but I still voted for her. So there we go, you know. But listen, I'm split down the middle, and if you take it or you leave it, point blank, you know. But one thing that we do agree on for the people who come to my videos, and I like the people who come to my videos when I do different topics, so I can tell that you're tuned into what I'm talking about. I like those people who comment because I know that you're not just following me for celebrity topics. So this is like kind of like the loophole and the cheat code for me to get the people who I really want to hear from. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I read this article from I think it was Reuters or Reuters or whatever, and it was talking about people getting shook. They shook up. Number one, they're in Mexico. They're traveling through Mexico City. You know, they got the cartel out there. The cartel are you know, kidnapping people, you know, for ransom, putting people in sex trafficking, all of that, and you know, turning them into gang members and all that too. So I just want to read an article from you and just let you know that these people are shook. They trying to get their appointments. with the United States so they can get through and be legalized. Now, what I don't understand is like you traveling from Venezuela to Guatemala to get to the United States. It's like, why you ain't just doing it the right way? You know what I mean? Now you got to turn around and go home. You should have went home. Yo, I remember I seen this. I ain't gonna say, listen, I'm not trying to, belittle anybody or just talk foul. But I remember I seen this white lady. She was like, get out of my country. She was just going crazy. I thought that was like, it was low key hilarious. She was like, get out of our country. She was going in. So anyway, I want to read this article to you from Reuters, whatever, right? So it says Trump crackdown could leave migrants in Mexico in limbo. Violent crime is a threat for those who stay in Mexico. So yeah, they on their territory. Mexican over there. I heard it said last year they had 30,000. This year alone they had 30,000 unalivings and all of that, and then the trafficking is through the roof. All right, so I want to read this article to you briefly, right? So every day Nadia Montenegro spends hours checking her cell phone hoping to receive a long-awaited appointment with the U.S. border officials. So she's trying to get through and to seek asylum in the United States. All right. So the 52-year-old Venezuelan migrant in Mexico says that she fears her appointment will not come before President-elect Donald Trump takes office on January 20th, where he has vowed to scrap a slew of programs that have allowed migrants to enter the United States legally, including the government app that Montenegro is using to try to get her appointment. Listen, like I said in my video yesterday, we already have a lot of underserved, underprivileged, poor, poverty-stricken people. Shoot, I even struggle to keep, my head above water. I feel like we have enough going on over here. We need to focus on the people in the United States. That's not to say people can't come over here, but imagine that we could just, not saying that we can just walk to a different country that's overseas or whatever, but just imagine that we did that from the United States and then kind of like just intruded and like, nah, it don't work like that. So I don't see why why the United States has to be a dumping zone for everybody to just come here and just take the resources, and while everybody else here is still struggling, the deficit. Come on, it don't make sense. So let's continue. So that could leave thousands of migrants like Montenegro in limbo, facing choice to have to cross the U.S. border illegally. Don't try it. Staying in Mexico or returning home. All right. Given those options, Montenegro says that she would return home more fearful of the violence that she has encountered while traveling through Mexico than the hardship she left in Venezuela. All right, but you still reporting. I ain't saying that, she ain't report. I ain't saying that she ain't been through nothing, or people who, because they're traveling in caravans. Caravans are people who travel in packs, like kind of like wolves, to kind of like protect themselves or whatever, right? So there's caravans of people traveling, trying to get to the United States or get back home. So she said, I'm traumatized. If I don't get an appointment, I will go back disheartened. All right. So there is always a threat of cartels to kidnap us, added the woman who says despite thinking about returning home, she does not have any money to do so. So why you come all the way over from Venezuela through Guatemala and through Mexico with no money? That's just foolish. A dozen of migrants interviewed by the Mexico Reuters said that they would prefer to return to their countries despite the ongoing issues that drove them to migrate, such as poverty, lack of employment, insecurity, and political crisis. All right. So now they're using the political asylum with the political crisis. But you see what it was front loaded with first. They went to migrate, such as poverty, lack of employment, insecurity, and they're going to come over here. Listen, let me tell you this. Y'all might look at it and say that these people is taking like the McDonald's or whatever type of jobs. Those are the jobs that the teenagers typically get. This is why I try to tell people, and like they think that I'd be thinking too deep, right? Before, back in the days when you send your kid to go work at Panera, Chipotle, McDonald's or whatever, now you have to worry about who are they working with on their shift. You don't know any of these people. It's like, you understand what I'm saying? Now these jobs that people have typically taken when they were in high school, they're being those jobs are being taken by a slew of migrants. All right. So it goes on to say that is too small of a sample size to draw a clear conclusion on how migrants will react to Trump when Trump takes office. And much will depend on exactly what policies he implements and how. But it does highlight the hard choice that they will likely face after January 20th. This country needs order. You mean to tell me that if Trump wasn't here or he wasn't coming through, or if, say, Kamala won the election, they would just be running amok, running roughshod up in this country? No, we need order. We need order, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. We need order. The violence in Mexico weighs heavily on any decision. All right. So the lady Montenegro told Reuters that she was kidnapped along with two of her nephews and dozens of others, including children, on the day that she arrived in southern Mexico from Guatemala 2 months ago. So she'd been in Mexico for 2 months? Why would you even put yourself at risk like that? Then if something happened, it's like, to me, you can't say that that's blood on Trump's hands or blood on the United States. No, you should have stayed put where you was at. Come here the right way. Unfortunately, we know that, listen, I don't feel good about anybody perishing, or, things that they're going on that are going on in their countries or whatever. People perish in the United States every day. The thing is, you can't save everybody. Come here the right way so that you be like, I'm legit. I'm legitimized, so nobody can't take nothing from me. All right. So she went through all of that. So now she lives in a shelter in the southern state of Chiapas, fearing criminals in the area will kidnap her again. All right. So organized crime has established extensive human trafficking networks across Mexico, making the journey through through the country treacherous. Mexico is plagued with violence, with around 30,000 killings this year, and over 100,000 people are registered as missing. Okay, wow. So many migrants are extorted, beaten, capital R-worded, forced to commit crimes, and even unalived. Mexican government attempts to slow the arrival of migrants at the U.S. border by busing and flying non-Mexican migrants to the country south. And to add risk. Mexico's presidency and National Migration Institute did not immediately respond to requests for comment. The International Organization for Migration told Reuters that the last 7 years it has assisted with 7,000 assisted with several thousand migrants, especially Central Americans, returned voluntarily from Mexico to their home. Yes, help them return home. Help them return home. Countries including victims of violence. However, it declined to provide specific figures. Yeah, we wonder how much that was. But help these people return back home. You shouldn't be forcing them through to the United States, or let them stay in Mexico. But see, they don't want them there. And that's probably what the cartel does when those people try to come over there and suck up whatever resources. I don't even know what the public aid or anything is like out there in Mexico, but they probably don't want them out there either. And so so she said, I cry every day and ask God to take me back. I don't want to go here anymore. This is horrible, said Yelamudi Moreno, a Venezuelan migrant who fears staying in Mexico. Through tears, she said that she had been a victim of violence but declined to give any further details. I mean, we don't know if these people is telling stories or what. What I will say, and just to be honest, even sometimes I feel like people in the United States, no, I can't say that, because some people who are going through some really, low times as far as like poverty-stricken areas, like violent areas, and, where the violence is through the roof. I can't even say it at their lowest that they're more blessed than people going through what they're going through, because, I mean, even in certain areas in Houston, like, it's bad. Like, you understand? I'm pretty sure there's people over there who wish and pray that they could get out, but sometimes they just can't get out from their situation. So don't come to our country and suck up all the resources and stuff from these people who still need it. Like, listen, it all has a snowball trickling effect by the thousands, hundreds, and millions of people who inundate this country. I don't care what anybody say. All right. So, yeah, so that's pretty much it. People were just, they're trying to get into the United States, hopefully before Trump takes office. And then it seems as though that the tone is that people are trying to go back to where they was from. You should have never came here illegally anyway. I really want your comments and opinion below in regards to this matter. What is your whole take on the migrants? How do you feel, honestly? Do you see it where I'm coming from, where I'm saying that we can't go over there and just live and just suck up the resources? Like, imagine if 1 million people from the United States just moved automatically to Mexico. You know what? How would that look to them? How would that look to, to Mexico? We're sucking up resources and buying up land, or, taking the apartments. I'm pretty sure that it would have it kind of in a topsy-turvy type of situation, and then, yeah, I feel really bad for people. I have a heart, but you kind of know that situation where it's just like, if a person is rich, they can't help everybody. And just the mere fact that people think that it's okay to come here illegally and to set up shop and be able to get these jobs and take money out of the hands and the mouths of Americans, I do think that is foul. I do. And I really want your opinion on it. Listen, I'm about to get this video uploaded. Potent, pondering, never pandering. Listen, they out there in Mexico panicking, coming from Venezuela. Listen, you better get it right. And then I even read something in there. I didn't even get to it because it was like the last little bit. It was a woman saying that she gonna try to get here by any means anyway. You're gonna risk your life and you're gonna go through all of that. Just, man, listen, I've seen situations happen in New York City and Chicago, and they say Florida is off the hook too. Just talked about that yesterday. Listen, we need order, and the order was not in place with the Biden administration, and Kamala would have definitely been too lax, and the people would have ran amok through this country. I don't care how anybody feel. Listen, I think the thing is that we can have love for anybody, and you can still be pro-American too. Yes, you can. So listen, potent, pondering, never pandering. Subscribe to this channel. Thumbs up the video. I'm up out of here. Peace.